Hello, good morning. It's Monday. Oops, and I've dropped my phone already. Hello, it's Monday. It's 10 o'clock. So that must mean it's time for our sharing session. Every single week I come on to help you grow personally and professionally around your baby massage and yoga business. Good morning, Laura. How are you? So this morning, what I wanted to talk to you about is competition. In fact, collaboration, cooperation and competition, because this is something that comes up for a lot of my teachers. It comes up for a lot of the students who want to become Blossom and Berry teachers. And one of the things that holds them back is that someone is already teaching in the area that they want to set up their business in, or they are scared that if they start their business, someone else is going to come into that area. So I just want to talk to you this morning and just break all that down, because ultimately all that is a lot of stories that we can tell ourselves about what we do, about how other people perceive us, about our worth, about the value that we're offering. And ultimately, I believe that it is deeply rooted in fear. Now, Blossom and Berry is all about the love. We're all about love creates love. We're about teaching love. Love is the center of all that we do. So I want to share with you this morning how you can actually love your competitors. If you see them like that, I wouldn't even see them as competitors. I'd see them as collaborators. I'd see them as kindred spirits. I'd see them as aligned people who can actually add a lot of value to your life and your business and create a greater impact in the world, okay? Because we're not born to feel separate from each other. We're born actually to see ourselves reflected in others and to act as one, to be part of the collective rather than striving to achieve individual success. That's what I believe anyway. So let's have a little think about. So if you are, there's a couple of scenarios. The first one is that you want to start a business, but there's someone already there who's teaching, and maybe they've been teaching there for a long time. So these are some of the stories you're going to start running in your head. Okay, they're already teaching, so therefore there's a scarcity of parents and babies, so I'm not going to be able to set up my business. Another story could be someone's been a teacher for 10 years, so they're going to be way better than me. They're going to know exactly what they're doing. I'm going to rock up. I'm going to have imposter syndrome. I'm going to not be good enough. All of these things that could come up as well. There's also the fear that if you set up a business in competition with the other person, that they're going to dislike you, or that's going to cause problems or attention, or even an idea that someone has a certain territory that they own and that they can only they can have those particular clients or that particular business. So with all of those thoughts, first of all, they are natural to have those sort of thoughts. They're limiting beliefs that we might hold around ideas such as scarcity versus abundance. So there is an abundance of parents and babies looking for support, looking for to learn baby massage and yoga, looking to connect with other parents to create community. There is an abundance, literally every single day. There are more parents and babies looking for classes because there's more babies being born. So there can never be a scarcity. So there's always enough to go around. And when you realize that there is an abundance of clients that you can serve, then your work, your service in this area will just keep flowing and going into an ever increasing space where you can have impact. Okay, so it's not going to, the supply is not going to turn off, so you can relax and expand into full abundance, knowing that your clients are there to connect with you. Now, obviously, how much they connect with you depends on how you communicate, how you educate, how you raise awareness about what you do and what your message is. But there's no need to have a fear around scarcity of clients. Another reframe for you, the teacher who's been teaching for 10 years, they're going to be better than you. You're not going to be good enough. You're going to be an imposter. Well, you don't know that that teacher of 10 years is actually decided that she wants or he wants to move in to do something else. You don't know that they've become bored or disengaged with what they're doing. You don't know how much they're actually enjoying it. You don't know how much their clients are enjoying it. All of those things are assumptions and stories that you're telling yourself that is literally based on nothing that is real. It's only a projection of your own fears and limiting beliefs about what you think is going on. The reality could be completely different, and so that's why having honest, clear communication and actually connecting with people can instantly get rid of these fears and allow you to expand into this space and to follow your heart and to live your full purpose. So that's another one that you might want to think of. And then the idea of like ownership. I think the idea of ownership of anything in life is hugely destructive. Ownership of things, of areas of business, of clients, of relationships, of people. Ownership, like freedom, is the highest value, my highest value, and clients are free to choose who they want to engage with. They might want to come with you because your class is really aligned, your personality, your branding, even the location, the time of your class, the day of your class, or they're going to go with somebody else because that just suits them better. None of that is about you. None of that defines your worth. None of that defines your value. None of that defines how good you are at what you do. That's just simply other people's choice. So don't give your power away to all of these limiting stories and beliefs that are based on fear and assumptions and things that actually are not likely to be true. And where they are true, if you do know they're true, then you can do something to work through those issues, like I say, with clear and honest connected communication. So that's one thing. If you're a teacher, if you're a student thinking I can't join because of those reasons. So let's move on then to say you are a teacher in an area and someone comes along into your area and that really threatens you because you see them as competition rather than a collaborator, rather than an ally, rather than kin, someone who can actually join with you to make even more of an impact in what you're doing. So if that's you, the first thing I want to say is, again, that's a natural response. It's a fear response because we see a threat. And when we feel threatened, our fight or flight or freeze response comes up to keep us safe. So it's nothing to judge yourself around and say, oh, I'm a bad person because I'm feeling threatened by this. I'm a bad person because I feel anxious. I'm a bad person because all of these negative thoughts are coming up. You're not a bad person. You're just a human being that has a natural response to a potential threat. The way to reverse the whole process is to take what you see as a threat and reframe it and put a different meaning and attachment on it so that it's no longer a threat. It can actually be of benefit. It can actually be an asset. It can actually be something that's going to help you to define your branding, your message, your business, and make you more aware of the fact that you need to step up and really provide value to your clients, or you're going to see it as a threat and you're going to lose loads of your time down a big black hole worrying about what somebody else is doing that you can't control. It's none of your business. It's got nothing to do with you, and it's completely based on false assumptions that are causing you to feel fear and threatened. It's a total pointless waste of time to do. Now, that's not to say that you're not going to do it, because as I said, that's part of being human. It's a normal physiological response to respond to a threat in that way. So this is not about feeling shamed or judged or judging or shaming yourself or thinking, oh, I should be a better person. It's about just noticing the emotions that are coming up for you and then reframing and working through them, trying to sit with them, working about what it's trying to teach you, and then moving through to a higher place with a greater sense of love and connection, a greater connection to yourself and your feelings, and to be able to calm and self-soothe yourself when these things come up so that you can sit with them and expand and learn and grow and see all of these things as a positive. Now, a great example of this is I had in my hometown Colchester, I actually trained around 5 or 6 teachers myself to, in essence, be in competition with my business. Now, the reason why I did that without any fear is because my mission is to make sure as many parents and babies in the world receive education on the importance of touch and nurturing and connection. Now, if I decided I was the only person in the world who could do that, or the only person in the world who could do that in Colchester, there's going to be people that don't like what I do. I'm not going to be able to work every single hour of the day. I'm not going to be able to work on a Monday and a Tuesday and a Thursday. I might only be able to work on a Friday. So why would I, through my selfish fear of actually creating more teachers in my area, or actually even passing on business to other teachers, why would that make me feel scared when actually it's an opportunity to do more, to empower others to do more of what I would want to see in the world? Now, that comes from a place that, because I believe in my service, in this being my calling, and the mission of what I do is greater than my own personal need to receive X, Y, or Z, or prove to be successful. Because my overall success is the fact that I have the vision to empower and educate parents and babies, and so the more people that are doing this with me, the better. And the way that you can make that flow around a business is what I did. Is I spoke to one of my teachers and I said, okay, let's agree that you will teach on, I can't remember the days, like Monday and Wednesday, and I'll do Thursday and Friday. And if anyone calls up, rather than saying, no, I don't do baby massage on that time, at that time or that day, I'm going to actually refer them to you, which gives someone else more business, helps more parents and babies, helps to create connection with the other teacher. And in the end, we used to share adverts. So we used to actually halve our marketing costs by sharing adverts, and in that way we actually were more profitable as a business by coming together. Now, that took me to get out of my head, my ego, my fear, my belief that I had to keep hold of everything, I had to control everything, all of that stuff, and go into a different headspace of love, of service, of being in my true calling, of being connected, of collaboration, of trust, all of these things. Now, again, I'm not saying that this is easy, but it's actually easier than you think, because all you need to do is come out of here where all your fears are keeping you small, making you feel that you're being threatened, making you feel that competition is something you need to worry about, that people are copying you, all of this stuff. And you need to move into here where you know that actually the people who are doing the same work as you, they are aligned with you, that they love what you love, that they are in deep service in the same way that you are. That is the place of love. And in my books, when you come from a place of love, nothing can go wrong, because if you're doing the most loving, compassionate thing that you can do to yourself and to others, you are safe, you're protected, because love is always the highest power, it's always the ultimate answer to everything. So that's what it's about, really, is moving from that headspace into that heart space. And that process can only come from you practicing the reframe of situations that enable you to be the most loving, compassionate version of yourself, and the most loving and compassionate version of others. See the most loving and compassionate version of others. And that is ultimate freedom. Because then you stay in your own lane, you're doing your own thing, and you just get stronger and stronger, and your self-love becomes so much that you just don't even think about it. It doesn't matter how many competitors come, it doesn't matter what happens, you know that you're in alignment with your values, you're enough, your classes are worth it, you have the value, whatever comes because you believe and invest and love yourself. So I just really want to share that with you. Any outward negativity that you are putting onto your competitors, onto your teachers, is coming from a place of fear. Okay, it is not coming from a place of love. It's not coming from a place of love. So what you can do is sit with yourself and think, where is the fear coming from? Write this down. Why do I have this fear? What is triggering this fear? How can I move into a place of love and compassion? And in my book, the first thing to do is always to communicate where there are expectations, assumptions that you're making that probably aren't true, if you're feeling triggered, all of that stuff. Okay, if you can master this in business, you can master it in your life. It's a skill for life. I just want to remind you that when you let your mind get in the driving seat and take the wheel, you are a little bit out of control, okay? Because your mind is reacting all of the time to everything that's going on, and depending upon your subconscious programming and your limiting beliefs, you're going to be attaching different meanings to all of those things that are coming on, and all of those meanings are coming from you. They're not actually real. None of that is real. When you're in the driving seat and you let love take over your heart rather than your head, then you're always guided by the highest values of love. You cannot go wrong. What's the most loving and compassionate thing I can do right now for myself, for the other person, for my clients, for my business? It's going to be something that is expansive and opening. It won't be something that is going to cause pain if it comes from love. And yes, that feels scary, and yes, maybe you've never done that before, and yes, your heart's going to be beating when you're doing it, because guess what, you could be rejected, someone could be defensive, it could all blow up in your face. But if you know that you did the most loving and compassionate thing, then you are always safe with yourself, because love always keeps you safe. So I hope this has been useful for you. It's like a totally different way of looking at competition. I do not fear competition at all. Competition is I'm not going to say competition, collaborators and allies are amazing, because everybody who is teaching people to teach baby massage and yoga is in a space increasing the awareness of why it's really important. So rather than me just doing that job, there's loads of other people doing that job as well. And when people come into that space, they can then choose who is in the greatest alignment with their values. And so the people that like my style will come to me, and the people that don't like my style will go to somebody else. And that is an absolute gift, because I don't want to be attracting things that are not in alignment with me, because it just won't work. And all I do is I just show up and I be myself, and I'm authentic, and I say what I think, and I express myself and my values, and I embody what I say in my actions. And if you like it, amazing, and if you don't, that's fine. And that comes from a place of self-love, and that comes from a self-love journey that I have been on for about 20 years. So don't beat yourself up if you can't be there right now, but you can take one small committed action every single day for self-love, for self-worth, whether it's honouring what you eat, what you do with your body, the people that you're around, the things that you consume, whether you need to express your feelings through journaling, whether you need to say out loud, whether you need to dance out, all of these things. Everything comes from a place of self-love. This is the secret. Love creates love. You cannot give out love if you do not have love for yourself. And this is what we teach at Blossom and Berry. We embody, and it goes on every single level, from parents and babies to competitors in your business. It's just the whole thing. So I hope this has been useful for you today. I'm just going to check a few of the comments here. Laura is saying, I freeze and get stuck in action. I think reframe is useful. Yeah, so freeze is one further on from fight or flight. So fight or flight is, it's quite normal. We can go through fight or flight throughout the day, and how we have learned to regulate our emotions brings us back into balance, okay? But freeze is when you can maybe overthink, and then fear actually paralyzes you, and you can actually find yourself not able to do anything because you think that what you do could be wrong. You judge yourself, you're worried about not doing things right, perfectionism, shaming, all of that stuff. Again, it is actually coming from you. So when you release the expectation of yourself you are free to be able to move forward and escape the freeze. Laura says, this has been so useful and inspiring. Thank you, Laura. I'm glad that it has been. I think this is useful for so many different areas of your life. So do tag and share anyone else who needs to see this, even if it's not about competition and collaboration, even if it's not about baby massage and yoga. In essence, it's about self-love. It's about managing this and this. It's about fear versus love. It's about knowing your worth. It's like all of the stuff. It's the core stuff that we teach. It's what it's all about. And it's so simple and so powerful that I'd love you to share with anyone else today who needs to hear this. Okay, I'm sending you lots of love.